What's a story, amigos? This is Kino with some cool stories for today's story time.
Today we'll hear the story of a chicken who needs a hat.
There must be a hat around here somewhere.
And Kino reads a story about a boy and his sled.
Down the hill he slid his sled and hit a hunter as he sped.
Then Kirk Douglas takes us on a nighttime adventure on a sled pulled by a dog team. And our last story is about a boy and a rabbit and a choice.
Still, the rabbit did not move, nor did it take its eyes off the boy.
Major funding for Storytime is made possible by a grant from Helen and Peter Bain, so that families everywhere can share the joy of reading with their children. Additional funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the annual financial support from viewers like you.
Watch this! Here I come!
Okay, I'm watching, Kino.
This is gonna be the fastest one yet! Look out below! Whoa! Whoa!
I got you. Oh, that was a fast one.
Yeah, sledding's the best. You don't have to do anything, like run fast or pedal hard. You just give a little shove and zoom.
It is easy, isn't it? Oh, but of course, you still have to pull your sled all the way up to the top of the hill.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But I don't mind. And even that time I crashed, I didn't get hurt because the snow was so soft.
It was like a big, fluffy pillow, huh?
Uh-huh. Oh, and look what I found up there. It's a nose for Mr. Fridge.
Mr. Fridge, is that his name?
Uh-huh. I just thought of it.
Oh, it's perfect.
Can we take him back to the story place with us?
Oh, I don't think so, Kino. It won't be as cold when we go back down the mountain. I'm afraid he'll melt.
Oh, well, can't we just try? Please, we can't just leave him here. He'll get lonely.
Can a snowman feel lonely?
Well, he could. I think maybe he could.
But out here, think of all the snow he'll have for company. You know, I think snowmen really like to stay out in the snow. It's cold and frosty, just like them.
Well, maybe. But I still want to take him back to the story place with us.
Well, tell you what, Kino. I'm starting to shiver, and so are you.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are.
Well, maybe a little.
Well, why don't we warm up back at the cabin, and then we'll decide.
Aw, gee, do we have to? I was gonna find some more pebbles so Mr. Fridge could have buttons, and some better twigs for the arms, and maybe he could wear my hat.
Oh, I brought a wonderful story about the search for a hat in the snow. We could read it by the fire.
Oh, gee. A story? Well, now that you mention it, that cabin sounds pretty good. Okay.
Oh, good. Come on. Ooh.
Wait right here, Mr. Fridge. We'll be back for you.
Here's the book I brought. It's called A Hat for Minerva Louise, and it's written by Janet Morgan Stoke.
Oh, and after we finish reading, we'll get Mr. Fridge and take him back to the story place with us, right?
We'll see. Shall I start?
Sure, okay.
Minerva Louise loved snowy mornings. Her friends didn't like them one bit. They stayed inside all day with their heads tucked under their wings. Not Minerva Louise. She couldn't wait to go out exploring. Everything was so beautiful. She wanted to stay out all day, but it was too cold.
If I had some warm things like you, she said, I could stay out and play. A scarf might help, but not this one. It's way too big. And these shoes are too big, too. A hat. That's just what I need. Oh, but not this one. And not this one either. It's too heavy.
That's a shoe.
There must be a hat around here somewhere.
Minerva Louise looked outside. Everyone had on a fluffy white hat. Oh, your hat is wonderful. Where did you get it? Oh, look! What's over here? A hat. It's perfect. But what's this? Oh, it's two hats. Which was just fine with Minerva Louise.
Boy, that's such a funny story, Lucy. Minerva Louise didn't know a scarf from a hose or a hat from a shoe.
She was confused, wasn't she? She even thought that the snow that was on top of everything was a whole bunch of hats.
Yeah, that's right.
And the mitten she found kept her tail and her head warm.
Yeah. Hey, come to think of it, a real hat probably wouldn't make a very good chicken hat. A mitten is just the right size. It's chicken size.
Right. Oh, guess what? I have another book. It's another book about the snow. Have you heard of this one?
Will? No, I don't think so.
Oh, I like this one. The pictures tell the story. Beautiful paintings. Now, the whole name is The Story of a Boy Named Will Who Went Sledding Down the Hill by Danieli Harms and illustrated by Vladimir Radunsky. Oh, would you like to read it?
Oh, sure. Sure, okay.
Okay.
Willie went for a sled ride and slid swiftly down the hillside. Down the hill he slid his sled and hit a hunter as he sped. Now the hunter and Will are sitting on the sled, sliding swiftly down the hill. Down the hill they swiftly sped, till they ran into a dog. Wow! Now the dog and the hunter and the boy named Will are sitting on the sled, sliding swiftly down the hill. Down the hill they swiftly sped, till they ran into a fox. Now the fox and the dog and the hunter and the boy named Will are sitting on the sled, sliding swiftly down the hill. Down the hill they swiftly sped, till they ran into a hare. Now the hare and the fox and the dog and the hunter and the boy named Will are sitting on the sled, sliding swiftly down the hill. Down the hill they swiftly sped, till they ran into a bear. said, Willie never rides his sled.
Kino, that was the perfect story to read after a day of sledding.
Yeah, only I'm glad that I just crashed into some bushes and not into a dog and a fox and a bear.
Yes, and I don't blame that poor boy for not wanting to sled anymore.
Me neither. Oh, do you think there are any foxes or bears here in the woods?
Well, there might be, but I think they like to keep to themselves. Oh, Kino, I think we'd better head back down the hill.
Aw, Lucy, I don't want to leave. The snow's awesome, and so's this cabin, and so's the fire.
I know, but Mr. Douglas is going to arrive at the story place, and we need to be there.
Gosh, he is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we can take Mr. Fridge, can't we?
I think he'll melt, Kino.
Aw, please, Lucy.
Well, I think he would be happiest if we left him out here in the cold and frosty snow where he belongs.
Aw, please.
Well, listen, Lucy and Kino should be here any minute now.
Okay.
See, they've been up in the snow. Have you ever been in the snow?
No. No.
You ever seen the snow?
No. I've seen some on the mountains.
You've seen it on the mountaintop, but you've never been inside the snow, have you? Huh? Well, when I read these books, you're going to get an idea of the snow, because where I come from, way up in upstate New York, there's lots.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
How are you?
How you doing?
Hi, Mr. Douglas. Hi.
Hi, how
Hi,
you
Matthew.
doing?
You look like...
How you doing? Hey, what's in the bucket?
Oh, Kino, tell him what's in the bucket.
Well, it's a long story.
Well, let's hear it.
A long, wet story.
Yeah, you see, we made this snowman on the mountain, and I named him Mr. Fridge. And he had eyes and a nose and a mouth and arms and everything. And I wanted to bring him here to show him to you, Mr. Douglas. But see, the problem is, it's much colder up in the mountains. And,
That's right.
And so, well, I'm afraid.
So Mr. Fridge turned into Mr. Drippy.
Yeah, exactly. He melted. I tried to save some of the snow, but now it's just a bucket of water.
Oh, and he was such a terrific snowman. I wish you could have seen him.
Just imagine, now, what he must have looked like. We can imagine what he looked like, a snowman, you know, with coals for eyes, a little bit of a carrot. What can we do with him?
We can put a hat on him and it gets real.
That's right, he looked like a real man.
Yeah,
you ever
that's
make a
right.
snowman?
I'm gonna make him just like I Kino did.
Just like Kino did.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool. Well, what are we going to do with this fridge?
Well, you know, the snow is so cool. I must have been going 100 miles an hour on my snow saucer. I didn't want to leave the mountain.
I know the feeling, Kino. Tell you what, would you like to hear a wonderful story about how beautiful and exciting the snow is at night?
Oh, sure.
You know, way up there in the north, it's very, very cold. And sometimes people ride on sleds that are pulled by dogs.
Wow, they do?
And they sure do. This story is called Dog Team. Got it right here.
Okay.
And it was written, see, this says Gary Paulson, and it was illustrated by Ruth Wright Paulson. And I'm going to read it to you. Sometimes we run at night. The full moon, when it is blue and white on the snow at the same time, so bright and clean and open you could read in the dark, we harness the dogs and run at night. Some small songs of excitement when the harnesses are put on because they want to run. Breathe to run, eat to run, live to run. But silent, straining to run, to go, to join the snow and the moon and the night, pulling against the tugs and the gangline tied to the sled, heaving until finally the hook is freed from the snow and they are gone. The dance. Through the trees, in and out, the sled whipping after them through the trees with no sound, the song of the runners, the high, soft shush whine of the runners, and the soft jingle of their collars. Into the night. Look at this.
Into the night.
Into the night, yeah. Away from camp, away from people, away from houses and light and noise, and into only the one thing, into only winter night. They fly away and away and away. A lake, frozen and flat and white in the moonlight, we slip out of the woods onto the ice in time for one breath, two, and across. The ice gone, creaking and moaning beneath us and into the trees again, left, right. We are not alone. What is it?
Wolves.
Wolves.
Wolves, yeah.
They come alongside in the moonlight. Moon wolves, snow wolves, night wolves. They run with us, pace the dogs, pace our hearts and our lives, and then turn away into the blue dark. So we run. Part of the night, and dark and cold, and moonlight and steam from our breath. Into the soft beauty of the woods and the quiet. We run mile on mile until we see lights. See lights and find that we have circled in the night, circled in the snow and the winter in our lives and all the world, and have come home. There, gleaming yellow kitchen light, warm in the cold, deep cold. Cold so ice breath freezes on eyelids, freezes eyes shut. Cold so the light from the moon is frozen on the snow. Cold so all the dogs are coated with ice and the snaps on their collars and harnesses won't open. And their laughing, panting breath freezes on their cheeks and makes them all smiles. Dog smiles, dog laughs. There, home, and we stop. Close now, so close we can see people in the cabin. See the faces at the window. The dogs look back. Why are they still in harness? Why are they standing? The dance is over, is it not? Is not the dog dance and the dog moon and dog cold and dog night over? Did you? They sing little jets of steam from their mouths. Did you? Did you? Did you? Did you want it to last forever?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Kino, did it make you feel like you were in the snow? Could you feel the cold?
Yeah, it made me feel exactly like I could feel the cold and the snow hitting me in the face.
In my mind, I could hear the dogs barking and howling.
Yeah. Ow! 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 Woof! Woof! Woof!
The next time we go to the mountains, you can all pull my sled.
Okay, we'll do it. What's the other snow book?
Well, you know how Dog Team made us all feel like we were in the snow? Well, this next book also helps us feel something very important. It's called Prize in the Snow, and it was written by Bill Easterling with illustrations by Mary Beth Owens.
This happens to be my favorite book.
Okay.
Me too.
Now, I want you to listen to this because I like this one very much.
Yeah, this is a good one.
There was that peculiar crunching sound as the boys' booted feet plunged into the whiteness of the snow. A cold February wind was blowing through the pines. The wind made a mournful sound. He was not afraid. Rather, he had feelings he had never tasted before. His throat was tight, his stomach knotted. He carried under his arm a wooden box and in his pocket a stick and a carrot. A long string was tied to the stick. This was the day he planned to become a great hunter. He had watched the older boys for a week, and he knew that he, too, could catch a rabbit or a bird. It was easy. He had his brother's box and stick. The carrot came from his refrigerator. Now he was deep in the pine thicket near his house, and there was no turning back. His heart was beating rapidly. Now he chose a small clearing to put the trap in. All you had to do was set the box on the ground, prop it up with a stick, lay the carrot under it. Then, when the rabbit or bird came, pull the string, just like that. When it was ready, he hid behind a tree. It took a long time. He was about to give up. And then, look, he saw the rabbit. It came hopping slowly out of a pile of brush, sniffing, desperately searching for food. It was deep winter, and there was nothing left to eat in the forest. But the boy himself knew nothing of hunger. He held his breath as he watched, hoping almost aloud that the rabbit would take his bait. Then the rabbit saw the carrot and dove for the box. The boy could not keep from yelling aloud as he jerked the string. The box fell with a thud. For a moment, the boy just stood there, stunned. Then he slowly made his way to the box. A dozen thoughts crowded his mind. What should he do next? When the older boys lifted the box, the rabbit ran, or the bird flew. He did not want to lose his rabbit. He wanted to take it home and show it off. His brother and the older boys would laugh at him if he didn't have it to show. Cautiously, he knelt down to lift the box. Rabbits bite? Do they have teeth? Will it hurt? Didn't matter, he had to have it. But the rabbit didn't move. He stood stock still with a desperate and doomed look in his eyes. The boy knew something was wrong. Instead of finding a prize to be taken home, he saw a skeleton covered with fur. The rabbit could not run, for it was starving and near death. The boy took away the box and the stick. He put the carrot right in front of the rabbit's nose. Still, the rabbit did not move, nor did it take its eyes off the boy. Then the boy hid behind the tree, and in a moment, the rabbit began to nibble on the carrot. When the rabbit was full, it hopped slowly off toward the brush pile and disappeared. The boy came from behind the tree and walked over to the carrot. He picked it up, took it over to the brush pile, and laid it down right where the rabbit had disappeared. Then he straightened up and stood there for a long moment. Through the pines, he could see the lights coming on inside his house. He started for home. I'll bring it some bread tomorrow, he thought, as his boots broke through the crusty snow. Now, you know why I like that book?
Why?
Because it deals with animals, and it tells you to be kind to animals.
You know, I think the rabbit was happy being free, but happy not to be hungry, too. I'm really glad the boy decided to help him and let him be free. You know, I was just thinking, we should have left Mr. Fridge right where he was, up on the mountain. He'd probably still be nice and cold and happy right now.
I think he's right. You know, maybe, listen, Matthew, maybe there's something else we could do with Mr. Fridge, huh?
Well, he's Mr. Drippy now. He changed from a snowman to a waterman, and, water, Oh, I got it. Mr. Fridge, Mr. Drippy, could help other things live.
That's right. He can help other things.
Just
Come
like
here.
the boy helped the rabbit, only
Kino?
Mr. Drippy could water the plant.
That's right.
That's
Come
a
here.
great idea.
Come on with me. Come on.
Here you go.
That's what
Why
we're
don't you
gonna
go
do.
with Mr. Douglas and
Come
help
here.
him?
Over here.
Yeah,
Over
you
here.
can water the plant, sure. I know that this will make Mr. Fridge happy,
And it'll make the plants happy.
and it makes me happy.
And you'll be happy with our story picks for today. I'd like to recommend another book about dogs and cold and snow. It's called The 5-Dog Night, and it's a humorous tale. And the other one is Lip Lap's Wish. It's a story about a bunny and his snowman, but most especially about his loving memories for his grandmother, whom he misses.
That's right, all of it. That's it. Put it in there. That's it.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Kino and Lucy are here.
Yeah, don't forget, everybody. Keep a story in your heart. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Story in your heart.
Thanks, Mr. Douglas. Bye-bye.
Today's Storytime books are A Hat from Minerva Louise, The Story of a Boy Named Will Who Went Sledding Down the Hill, Dog Team, Prize in the Snow, The 5-Dog Night, and Lip Lap's Wish.
You can find these and other books at your local library.
Major funding for Storytime is made possible by a grant from Helen and Peter Bain, so that families everywhere can share the joy of reading with their children. Additional funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the annual financial support from viewers like you. Storytime is a production of KCET Los Angeles.